Hello, everyone. I hope you can see me. I'm going to give you a little moment. This video is a little bit behind when you actually see it. But if you can see me and hear me, let me know in the chat and say hi. I'm curious for who is this the first ZK hack? And for who is this your third? Maybe you can just let me know if it's your first or your second or your third ZK hack that you're participating in. Cool, cool, cool. Just let me know when you can see me. That will be awesome. Great. Okay, I see it. So I'm going to just kick off ZK hack 3. There is a lot of this background. I realize this is sort of like an inception. We have, we just weren't that creative. I mean, we tried a few things, but then we thought this was kind of the funniest. But yeah, so we went with ZK hack background and behind me, on the slides, behind here, yes. Okay, so you've made it. You're at ZK hack 3. Now, ZK hack 3, I'm so excited to be doing this with all of you. This is like an event that, obviously we've done 3 times. It's kind of the perfect event for fall, I think. We're going to be online the entire time. We're going to be seeing each other often. So let me share a little bit about what ZK hack is. So it's 4 weeks of workshops and puzzles. The workshops consist of a series of technical workshops. We're going to be doing 2 sessions per week of workshops. And in these, teams are going to be introducing you to the new ZK tools, libraries, languages, and architectures that you might want to use in the future. At the same time as we're doing that, so workshops are like for beginner intermediate. At the same time as we're doing this, we are also running basically a puzzle hacking competition. Oh, by the way, I hope you can hear me okay. I know that I'm getting a little signal that my connection might be wonky, but yeah, so we're at the same time running a puzzle hacking competition. Every week we release a new puzzle. The goal for you is to find the bug and exploit it to win as fast as you can. Really try to do this quickly. People tend to submit this within 2 hours to a day. So yeah, just be sure that you are on it. I want to give you a little recap about ZK hack in general. So ZK hack started last year, October 2021. That time, we actually did 7 weeks of workshops and 6 puzzles, which we learned near the end was a little much. In March of 2022, we did ZK hack mini. That time we did 2 weeks, and we found that to be a little too short. So this time around, we're doing 4 weeks with 3 puzzles, which I think is hopefully just right. Okay, other things that we've been doing. In July of this year, we launched the ZK Whiteboard Sessions video series. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that in a second. And we also have been running in our Discord study clubs, like the Failure Book Club, the Real World Crypto Club, and the ZK Whiteboard Sessions study club. So let me tell you a little bit about this whiteboard session. So what this is, this is content that we created for the ZK hack community. The first 3, this is amazing if you are here really to learn about ZK from the start. I really recommend you check it out. You can find it from the zkhack.dev website. And yeah, you can basically, if you look at the first 3 of them, it's a mini course that Dan Bonet has created to help onboard you into ZK tech. After this, we did this along with Polygon. Hosts Bobbin and Brendan do whiteboard sessions, kind of like what it sounds like, engineers around a whiteboard exploring these key ZK things. This is inspired by the NEAR whiteboard sessions. I don't know if you ever saw those. And yeah, we were running these all summer. By the way, sorry if my internet's a little wonky. Hopefully you can hear me. We're going to be sharing links to all of this as well, so you can definitely check it out on your own. So we have a new website, and here it's quite cool. You can actually see all of our previous events. You can see the whiteboard sessions. You can also sign up for the ZK Mesh newsletter, which is a newsletter I send out once a month. There we collect all the latest research, articles, project updates, videos, tweets, fun things. So yeah, sign up for that if you're not signed up already. And if you want to check out previous puzzles this has like come up a few times. It was kind of hard to find previous ZK Hack puzzles, but now you can actually find them on the ZK Hack resources page. So we have a dedicated page just for the puzzles, the previous ones. This is also something like, say you aren't really able to compete and do one of the puzzles this time around, you want to see maybe how people did in the past, this could be a really good resource. There's also our website. If you haven't checked it out yet, that's where the schedule is. That's where you're going to be able to find out all of the workshops that are coming out. That's where you can also find out about like puzzles that are coming. Like when we launch the puzzle, we're actually launching it over here. So keep an eye on this site. And also once the results are in for the puzzle hacking competition, that's where you can find the leaderboard. So if you're competing, be sure to check that out too. Join the Discord if you're not there already. I'm assuming a lot of people are already there, but if you're not, be sure to go there. We have like a whole section just for the ZK Hack happening now, and also follow us on Twitter. So what can you do here? You can join a workshop, you can hack a puzzle, you could win a prize, you could maybe find a job at the ZK Jobs Fair. We're doing that on December 1st. I'm going to share the whole schedule in this session very shortly. And yeah, I want to now thank our partners. So you're going to be hearing from all these partners like over the next month. Our top kind of tier sponsor partners on this particular ZK Hack are Anoma, Aztec, Aleo, and Risk Zero. Each one of these are doing a 2-hour session, so a dedicated event just for their tools and everything. I'm going to be like, actually, all of these speakers are going to be coming up shortly to share a little bit more about what the workshops are about, so you can find out. But yeah, these teams kind of were the first to say yes to this. They're the reason that we could do it. So thanks so much. The other workshop hosts are the mid-tier workshop hosts. This is Scroll, O1 Labs, Privacy and Scaling Explorations from the EF, and Sismo. All 4 of these are doing 1-hour sessions. So I think if you look at our schedule, you'll see we're often like putting them together on one day. So for example, on November 24th, on Thursday, we have Scroll and Sismo who are going to be presenting 1 hour each about their tools. I also want to say a big thank you to the community sponsors. We have Geometry, ZK Validator, Trapdoor Tech, Sunscreen, Lambda Class, and 1KX. Big shout out to Geometry on this one. It's Kobe's this is also Kobe's project. They helped us build a lot. I mean, they're basically building or helping to build or coordinating to build the puzzles. There's also a lot of our team that's coming from the ZK Validator, which is like the other company that I run. So yeah, big thank you to the community sponsors. You will see some of them also at the job fair. And just so you know, there are like 2 or 3 packages left. There's 1 booth left at the job fair. So if you're a team who might want to participate, get in touch with us. You can email us at summit@zeroknowledge.fm. I realize the email sort of isn't ZK Hack exactly, but we're getting that all set up soon. But yeah, just use that email for now if you want to sponsor. And the media partner is the ZK podcast. That's like my other hat. You might know me from that. It's a show we do every week. And they're like, obviously I get to talk about all sorts of things. ZK Hack is really the place where I feel like we can focus in on the ZK tech side of things. People are asking, is it recorded? Yes, it's recorded. This you'll find actually over on the Zero Knowledge YouTube channel. Yeah, we have a playlist dedicated to ZK Hack, and you can actually check out all the previous videos as well if you're over there. And so yeah, if this isn't enough or you want to already start seeing some of the workshops, check out what we did in the past. So today we are going, like, this is our schedule for the day. We started with this intro to ZK Hack. Now we're going to be actually hearing from each of the sponsors and workshop hosts. So we're going to start with Sismo. Yeah, and then at the end of this, Kobe is going to join us on stage, and we're going to announce puzzle T1. This is the first puzzle of ZK Hack 3. And yeah, I'm very excited about it. One thing about Hopin and all of these workshops, like I think we're sharing a lot of links to different workshops in the chat. Unfortunately, there's no way in Hopin for you to sign up for all of them at once. I know it's super annoying, but we actually will need you to sign up for each of the workshops that you want to attend. I'm really sorry we weren't able to figure out a easier, smoother solution for that. But these are the tools we have. But yeah, so as we're kind of showing you these different 5-minute intros and the teams are basically going to be talking about the workshops that they're hosting, you can sign up at the same time. This is sort of your sampling. You get to see what's out there, choose what you want to check out. And yeah, cool. So I think that wraps up my intro. I think to start off then, we can probably start with Sismo. Let's hear a little bit about what they have planned for their workshop.
Hello, I'm Leo, I'm the CTO of Sismo, and on Thursday I will run a workshop to introduce you ZK badges and ZK attesters. So yes, at Sismo, we are building a modular attestation protocol that issues ZK badges, which are soulbound tokens, and it's very modular because you can create any ZK badge you want, and you can even change the rule to mint the ZK badges. So what is a ZK badge? A ZK badge is a tokenized attestation. For instance, if we take the Proof of Humanity ZK badge on the left, an owner of the ZK badge proves that he's part of the Proof of Humanity registry without revealing who he is exactly inside this registry. To mint this ZK badge, he will prove that he has a source account that is part of the registry Proof of Humanity. He will generate in his browser directly a zero-knowledge proof, and he will send this proof to a ZK attester, which is a smart contract on-chain. This smart contract will then mint the ZK badge on a destination account. So yes, the ZK badge is a soulbound token, so it's an 1155 standard, which is non-transferable, and it's minted by a ZK attester. So ZK attester, they verify users' ZK proof before minting the ZK badges. That means that you can have a lot of different types of ZK attesters that use different type of ZK proof. For instance, we could have a ZK scheme that verify the storage proof of Ethereum directly. So during the workshop, we will learn about the Hydra-S1 ZK attesters. It's the first attester we deployed and we created by Sismo. It's the one I told you about for the Proof of Humanity ZK badge. And we will also create new ZK badges using our tools, the tools we have created that helps to create these ZK badges on top of our Hydra-S1 ZK attester. And we will develop a new ZK attester which has some custom rules, some different custom rules where we can directly burn and remint different ZK badges. So if you want to prepare the workshop, you can mint a badge on our app. You can also try our tutorial that will show you how you can create a ZK badge. And we have also a no-code tool that is called Sismo Factory, where you can directly on no-code create a new ZK badge. So yeah, thank you, and see you on Thursday.
Amazing. Cool. All right. Next up, we're going to hear from Scroll about their workshop, also happening on the 24th.
Hello, I'm Leo. I'm the CTO of Sismo.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shrikar. Welcome to the ZK Hack event. Scroll has been thoughtful about the right approaches to scaling from day one, and it's been building in the open with the Ethereum Foundation as a close collaborator. The ultimate aim for Scroll is to create the most developer-friendly L2 ZK rollup. The vision and values of Scroll have always been very aligned with the Ethereum Foundations from day one, building in the open, creating an open community, and making sure that everyone who wants to learn more about Scroll can, with our blog posts and a variety of educational materials. And without further ado, to present our workshop is Oral, who's the security lead at Scroll, who's going to walk through Halo 2, which is a core part of our technical stack, and a variety of other technical details. If you'd like to join Scroll, head on over at scroll.io. We welcome to see anyone who's interested in ZK as well as the future of Ethereum.
Hi everyone. Yes, we'd like to give some insights to everybody about how the ZK VM and ZK rollups work. So this workshop, we will talk about the ZK rollups, how everything fits together, and we'll introduce the how VMs work in general in ZK and how Aleo 2 works. So Aleo 2 is very cool, modern proving system, very interesting to learn about. And then we'll see the components of the ZK EVM itself. From there, you can ask questions, and we will go from there. We will dive into an example, how to execute one opcode of EVM bytecode in the core processor of the EVM, and we'll go from there depending on your interests. So we're looking forward to see you there.
Amazing. All right, next up, we're going to hear from workshop host Anoma.
Hey everyone, my name is Awa. I'm one of the co-founders of Anoma and Namara. And today I'm here to present a little bit the background to the projects that we're working on, Anoma and Namara, but also an introduction to the workshop we're having later at ZK Hack. So first about Anoma. Before you start reading the white paper on GitHub, I actually recommend to go through a little bit of recap of how the protocols have evolved. The very first generation was introduced by Bitcoin, an architecture that we refer as scriptable settlement that was really good for cryptocurrencies. Later on with Ethereum programmable settlement. And ever since then, all the other layer one platforms that we have seen, we consider them programmable settlement plus because they only improve on specific components, but they do not actually introduce a new model for developers or for users. So Anoma, we think of it as like the third generation of distributed protocols or decentralized protocols. And it has two aspects that makes it really unique. The very first one is that it is intent-centric as opposed to transaction-centric. And the other aspect is that it deploys Taiga, and it allows form of like composable privacy. So it allows users and developers to reason more easily through when you build an application, which states are transparent, which states are actually private, because a lot of applications, what they need is both. They do not need one or either. So about Taiga, Christopher defined it as a dark forest knowledge programmability. He gave a talk about this, about the context of Anoma and Taiga and why we designed it this way at ZCon. You can find more about it on GitHub. There's another project called Vampire that is Anoma and Namara fully agnostic. So the idea is to have a universal language for arithmetic circuits, and that once you have some front-end languages for which you can write, or DSLs for which you can write circuits, you can later on have it be compatible with a bunch of different proven systems, including the ones like R1CS or Plonkish ones that we are that's commonly being used today, but also in the future. And that by having Vampire in the middle, you always maintain that compatibility independent to which front-end or DSLs you use to write the circuits. So there's a bunch more crypto that we're working on, and actually the workshop is centered around the MSP and CC. So Namara, the other protocol that we're working on, is a proof-of-stake layer 1 for in-the-chain asset agnostic privacy. What does this mean? Really, what it means is that we want to enable Zcash-like shielded transfers, but for any kind of asset. So Namara doesn't center around creating new types of assets. It's about once the assets already were created in Ethereum or in fast finality chains like Cosmos or any other Cosmos chains, then they can all come into Namara and then benefit from the privacy features of Namara. And the way this is done is via a custom Ethereum bridge that we designed, and also with fast finality changes, just connectivity via IBC. Two other aspects about Namara that are really cool is that all assets share one anonymity set, including NFTs. So basically a shielded transfer with a CryptoKitty in Namara looks indistinguishable from a DAI transfer in Namara. they all share one unlimited set. And the other thing is that we're experimenting about the idea of how do we incentivize people to use shielded transfers over transparent transfers. So with that, we're experimenting with the idea of privacy as a public good. So the protocol will reward the users that use shielded transfers and actually effectively contribute to the shielded set with some tokens. And this is enabled by the MSP and the convert circuit. So the workshop at ZK Hack is titled Evolution of the MSP. It will be done by Joe and Bengt. So it has two parts primarily. One part is the evolution of the circuit from sapling to MSP plus MSP today. What features it actually enables, so unified shielded set and the shielded set rewards. And it also talks a little bit about the background of why do we need a unified shielded set versus a segregated shielded set process. And then Bengt will be exploring some other applications, as right now we use it to enable privacy as a public good for Namada. But actually this underlying mechanic can be used for other privacy preserving applications. And that's it. If you want to learn more about Namada, you can find it on the website. And right now we're doing a trusted setup ceremony for Namada on the MSP circuit. You might have seen something on Twitter, so you can follow through there. Anyways, that's it. Hope you really enjoy ZK Hack.
Thanks so much, Awa. All right, next up, we're going to hear from Aztec, who they're presenting on December 1st, the same day as the ZK Jobs Fair.
Hi all, welcome to ZK Hack. We at Aztec are thrilled to have launched Noir last month, and this is a short intro on why you wouldn't want to miss our upcoming Noir workshop. First, a brief introduction of our presence at ZK Hack this year. I'm Savio from our Developer Relations team, and our main Noir workshop on the 1st of December will be presented by our engineers, Maxime and Jos. So, what is Noir and why does it matter? There is growing consensus around the importance of building ZK provable programs, as the technology offers privacy and scaling benefits never seen. Problem is, they can be pretty complicated and rigid to develop, often with the need to handwrite low-level circuits and with a limited number of language-tied proving backends to choose from. Gladly, not anymore with Noir. Noir is a ZK provable programming language. With Rust-like syntax, it abstracts away the need to fiddle with low-level circuits and is very readable, hence maintainable as well. It is also backend agnostic. With intermediate representations, programs written in Noir can be proved using different backends of choice, depending on needs. It works with TurboPlong today and is expandable to other proving systems like Marlin, Graph16, Halo 2, etc. Let's then take a quick look at some Noir snippets, shall we? This is an excerpt from our mastermind example in Noir. As you can see, Noir is written with syntax you might already be familiar with from other languages. Mutable variables are supported, and control flows like for loops and if statements just work. And this is our private transfer example in Noir. In just this one slide, we are already achieving library imports all the way to doing Merkle checks. Other than language features, Noir is also excitingly wrappable in TypeScript. Proving and verifying Noir programs, as well as generating Solidity verifiers, can all be carried out in TypeScript. Immensely useful when working with Hothead or building out web apps. As we have briefly seen, Noir is already an exciting language to use as is, but it is nowhere near pausing. Noir is first and foremost fully open source and is highly flexible. We are therefore confident that we all will enjoy using it for everything ZK. For cryptographers, whomever working on the latest and greatest proving systems can easily leverage their impact by implementing them as Noir proving backends. For developers, it has never been easier to tap into the benefits ZK offers in both Web 2 and Web 3. Additionally, we at Aztec are working on the next iteration of Aztec network, codenamed Aztec 3. It is a private state machine that's capable of supporting private smart contracts. And Noir will be the smart contract language of Aztec 3. As states in Noir would likely come next year, now would be the perfect time to start learning Noir. And if that's what interests you, you would not want to miss our Noir workshop. It will take place on the 1st of December and would be a great mixture of talks, hands-on, and Q&As. Scan the QR code to learn more about it and register right away. While we're here, feel free to front-run the workshop as well. Thank you for tuning in and happy ZK hacking.
Nice. Front run the workshop. One thing about so they just shared a few resources at the end of that presentation. We're actually going to be collecting all of that and sharing it in our newsletter. So if you haven't already signed up for the ZK Hack newsletter, it's on our website. Do it, because that's where we're going to be sharing a lot of that stuff before. So if you want to kind of test it out, try it out. All right, next up, I want to invite Brian to the stage. Hey.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. And I'm going to pull up your slides to replace mine. There we go.
Great.
I'm going to jump off then.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Redford, CEO here at RISC-0. If you're unfamiliar with RISC-0, it's a ZK VM that implements the RISC-V instruction set. What this lets you do is write ZK programs in Rust and other languages. We're very focused on Rust these days, and the workshop will be very focused on Rust as well. We'll talk a lot about how RISC-0 works, and we're going to dive into what you can do with it. Kind of critically, the fun thing you can do with RISC-0 is prove anything that you can already sort of do in Rust code. For instance, there's a very short proof of the size of a PNG image. You can also reason about chains that have their sort of core logic implemented in Rust. So there's a small example of reasoning about Merkle trees in Near. You can also prove the output of pretty much any kind of general purpose library. Right, here's the proof that a JSON file contains a particular data in a particular field. You can also use this sort of technology to build complicated logic in Rust and run it off chain and then easily verify it on chain. And we'll talk a bunch about how you can do that with RISC-0. The workshop will be presented by Jeremy Brewstall, our chief scientist, and Tim Zerl. And I really hope you'll join us for it and learn a bunch more about how you can use programming languages and libraries that you already know and that already exist to do exciting things in zero-knowledge cryptography. Thanks.
Amazing. And just to note, your workshop is happening on December 6th. As you can see, we're adding links to all of these in the chats, and we will be sending out an email with a lot of this as well, and you can find it on our website. Thank you so much. I'm just going to pull that down. Okay, next up, I want to invite Jack to the stage. And Jack is from O of One Labs, who's going to be sharing a little bit about their workshop. Mina's presenting basically the ZK apps.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And thanks everybody for being here. I actually got my job through the ZK app job fair, so you should definitely go to that. And you might get a really cool job. Anyways, today I'm going to talk very briefly. We're kind of going to start in the middle and just go very briefly through everything about Snarky.js and ZK apps. And that way you kind of have an idea of, if you want to attend our workshop, where we'll kind of start at the beginning and go to the end. Let me see. Sorry, I don't know how to. Here we go. Okay, it works. So, okay, what's Snarky.js? Snarky.js is a TypeScript library for defining zero-knowledge proofs, and it's also the smart contract language for the Mina protocol. It's super powerful. It's under the hood. We have a proof system that we built in-house called Kimchi. It's Plonkish. It's has fully trustless setup. We have custom constraints for hash functions, elliptic curve stuff, encryption, signatures, and even more coming soon. The proof size is constant, and we have infinite recursion with arbitrary branches and merges. So lots of horsepower, but it's also super easy to learn. You can see, if you look at this looks like something that you could learn. It's TypeScript, and it's pretty straightforward. Everything is in TypeScript, so you can keep using the tools you're familiar with, like Prettier, ESLint, and also VS Code. We have really good IntelliSense comments, so you can kind of jump into a ZK app even if you aren't, sort of really formally familiar with it, and figure out what's going on. Also, the method chaining API lets you think through your program in a linear way. So we can kind of see an example of this on line 206 here. We have this, current slot, and we can call, greater than equal to method, then call the and method, and then finally assert that all of this is true. And so this kind of makes thinking about your sort of how your data changes really straightforward. And then we also have structs, which make actually thinking about your data very straightforward. So this is a layer of abstraction on top of these field elements, which are sort of fundamentally required by the underlying cryptography of all of these proof systems. And so we can see we can just extend struct into, in this case, my struct pure, and we can add field elements or other structs like public key in this case, or things like arrays. And then we can just use this directly in our code, like on line 104 here, just like we would a normal field element. So these two things combined make it really easy to get started with Snarky.js. And Kimchi under the hood makes Snarky.js extremely powerful, especially with things like recursion. And we'll kind of dive into this more in the real workshop. So finally, plenty of the stuff that you need is already implemented in Snarky.js. So we have types for all this stuff, with more coming soon. We have efficient hash functions, encryption and decryption, and signatures. And then also in the standard library, we have Merkle trees and reducers. And again, this stuff gets added every 2 weeks pretty much. There's always new stuff being added. Okay, so that's Snarky.js. What about the Mina protocol? Well, the Mina protocol is a layer 1 blockchain that's built on top of Kimchi. So it's a pretty different design from other existing blockchains, and it has a lot of unique properties that fall out of this. And we'll talk about that more during our workshop. There's some really, really cool things that are possible with Mina that aren't just not possible with anything else right now. But for now, let's look briefly at how smart contracts work. So developers will write smart contracts using Snarky.js, as these zero knowledge proof programs, I guess. And then they'll deploy the verification key for these to the Mina network. And this just looks like, we send a transaction with a signature to Mina, and then we have this new account, which has a verification key. And then users of this smart contract will actually run it in their browser and generate the zero knowledge proof again in their browser. All the proof generation stuff happens in WASM. And then, so it's all totally client side. And then, they send this proof off to the Mina network. And if the proof is valid, then we commit all the associated state updates or event emissions or anything like this to the blockchain. And if the proof is invalid, then we just drop the transaction. And so why is this good? Well, there's two reasons. The first is that the users run the smart contracts themselves. And so this means that it's really easy to keep information private because it doesn't have to run on chain. Anything I pass into a method or anything that I do, inside of the method, any of this execution, it's all totally private. The only person who runs it is me. I don't have to send it off to like a data center to get the proof generated or anything. It happens right in the browser. And then we eventually emit either some sort of state updates or some events, and these are public, but there's easy ways to make these private, basically by storing a commitment to some value or something like that. And then also the other thing that's really cool is scalability. So it's possible to prove an unlimited amount of computation in a single transaction. The transactions are, the price of them is determined by just demand. There's no sort of like gas model. If you do more computation or less computation, the fee is the same. And then you can also use recursion to actually construct these really complicated transactions for something like a game where two users would pass these proofs back and forth to each other, rolling them up, and then eventually just pass that final proof on chain. So there's all kinds of crazy stuff you can do. Does this sound interesting to you? Hopefully it does. And if it does, then you should come to our workshop. We'll walk you through the process of building a ZK app step by step. We'll sort of start more fundamentally with what is Mina, why was it designed the way it was, what can you do with the design? And there's a lot of things we haven't talked about, in this like 5-minute spiel. So that's really cool. You can also check out our docs at minaprotocol.com. We have 5 or 6 tutorials, and Berkeley testnet is live, so you can actually deploy your ZK apps now. Aura Wallet is sort of like our MetaMask, and that works. So you can sort of do an end-to-end flow. And then finally, if you just want to dive into the code, you can install the ZK app CLI. It's just an npm package. And this is our developer tooling, sort of like hard hat. It will instantiate a project with an example application, and you can just poke through it with the IntelliSense and sort of figure out what's going on. If you have any other questions, you can join the ZK App Developers channel on our Discord, which we'll have a lot of links to this stuff in the newsletter, or you can ping me at Jack Servia on Twitter. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you at our workshop.
Thanks again. Also, so Jack, wait, before you jump off, maybe can I don't know if you're still there.
Yeah,
hey,
bring me back. Okay, cool.
So you're one of the people, you just said that before. So you did you do ZK Hack 1? Did you actually go through the workshops as well? Because like we met during
I think I joined in the middle of one and then did sorry, I think there might be a little bit of lag. I think I joined in the middle of ZK Hack 1. And then did the entire ZK Hack 2, and then got a job at the end of ZK Hack 2, and now I'm presenting in ZK Hack 3. So it's been really cool.
I like that trajectory. Wanted to just highlight that. Yeah, if anyone's curious, so the job fair is the ZK Hack Job Fair, or the ZK Job Fair, and that's going to be December 1st. Okay, I think next up, we are going to be hearing from the Privacy and Scaling Explorations group from the EF. They're going to be talking about building a ZK DAO with UniRep protocol. So let's hear about their workshop.
Hello everyone, my name is Wansup, and I'm glad to here to introduce PSC team, which is a subgroup of the Ethereum Foundation. PSC stands for Privacy and Scaling Explorations, which means we are exploring the technologies for privacy and scaling of Ethereum. Briefly, PSC team does public goods and experiments. In terms of the public goods, we are especially focusing on protocols, frameworks, and tools, which can be used by everyone. And in terms of the experiments, we are shipping some experimental social media, which are built on top of the anonymous identity. We are also doing researches on unrevealed area, such as ZK machine learning, using the homomorphic characteristics. Let's talk about a little bit more detail about the project, what we are doing. We are delivering anonymized identity, which lets you vote privately or send signals while keeping your privacy. And anonymized reputation on top of the anonymized identity. You can imagine about proving your Reddit karma without revealing your username. We are also building and shipping a payment protocol with privacy. Especially for about the network level privacy, spam protection is very important. We are also delivering the spam protection mechanism using ZKP along with the Shamir secret sharing. And the minimal anti-collusion infrastructure can prevent bribery airdrops for quadratic funding, which is an incentivized civil spam. We're also delivering scaling solutions too. We are delivering an L2 wallet using DLS signature and the ZK EVM project with the cryptographic proof of validity. What others we do is the user experience researches for applied ZKP apps, since these are the whole new area. We also do some benchmarks of each proving schemes, and we are also releasing some toolkits too. Other activities that we are doing to grow the community are education and grants. With the EchoDev team, we are giving some learning grants to students and we are giving some grants for building the second brain for ZK researchers. And also we are trying to release some curriculums to learn about ZKP. For about the grants, we are running some runs for Semaphore and L2 scaling solutions. Or you can propose your own idea to the team. So, if you want to do or interested in public goods, protocols, frameworks and tools, researches and experiments, or privacy and scaling of Ethereum with the ethos of the open source culture, then please reach out to us. We are doing a lot of collaborations for many projects, also giving general grants and hiring people too. You can visit our website and find more information there. Please find a link to our Discord server and join it. Or you can make a small beginning. Please try to use our protocols, frameworks, and toolkits for your own project, or contribute to those projects. All of these projects are open sourced and you can freely fork, modify, and contribute to. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to join the Discord server. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So that was the Privacy and Scaling Explorations Group from the EF. Their workshop is on December 8th. So actually on December 8th, we have the O1 Labs team and the PSE team presenting on the same day, 1 hour each. Now we're on to our last workshop host. This time it's Aleo. They are going to be presenting, what they're going to be sharing on December 13th.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alex, and I'm the CEO of Aleo, and I'm here to talk to you today about ZK Hack and what you can expect from us during the upcoming workshop. So first off, let me just say that I'm very proud that Aleo can be a sponsor of ZK Hack. We're big supporters of the ZK podcast and ZK Summit, and it's a great pleasure for us to continue to support this work in its ecosystem. Okay, so with that, what is Aleo? So Aleo was founded by the authors of the original Zexy paper, which Zexy, in case you're not familiar, stands for Zero Knowledge Execution. And several of those authors were co-founders of Zcash or co-authors of the Zero Coin paper, which preceded Zcash. And Aleo is really the first protocol that I consider to leverage the power of zero knowledge proofs fully, in that it uses the capability of a zero knowledge proof to compress computation as well as to conceal the sensitive user information. So the way you can kind of think of it is a combination of the ideas of Ethereum and the ideas of Zcash to enable a new smart contract paradigm that unlocks new use cases like private stablecoins, self-sovereign identity, hidden information games like Dark Forest, if anyone has ever played Dark Forest on Ethereum, privacy-preserving machine learning, and many, many more. So we're really excited about this new paradigm, and it's a great time for those of you who are interested to be learning about Aleo, because we're 3 years into our journey here, and we're in the middle of our third and final testnet before mainnet launch. And so we've never had as much functionality on the network as we have now. And there's plenty of opportunities for developers to get involved and either directly contribute or build on top. So if you want to learn more about our testnet and what's going on there and the different incentive programs that apply to developers that deploy applications or provers that participate in the network by generating zero knowledge proofs directly for the protocol, you can go to www.aleo.org/discord, and that should take you to our Discord, and that's the best place to get all the up-to-date information about what's going on in the Aleo community. Okay, so back to the workshop. So we have two protocol engineers from Aleo who are working, Colin and Pranav, and they work on Leo, which is our domain-specific language for zero knowledge. Now, Leo is much more than just a language. There is the language piece, which is JavaScript and Rust-like, but below the language, there's an entire compiler architecture, which is responsible for taking this high-level syntax and compiling it down into this kind of the secret sauce, the special stuff that makes up zero knowledge proofs. In our case, this is R1CS, or rank 1 constraint system. So Colin and Pranav have been architecting this for years now at this point, and have given some prior presentations, research presentations on the topic, and they're very excited to share some of their latest work here. So what you can expect from this workshop is, first off, an overview of programming in the ZK paradigm, because, considering that the whole idea is to hide certain information, you've got to think about it in a slightly different way. The next piece is you'll get a flying tour of Leo, which I already mentioned is our domain-specific language and compiler architecture for programming in R1CS. And then it'll be a workshop. So you should expect hands-on time working on and writing a program directly in Leo. And as part of that, you'll get a more familiarity with the infrastructure and tooling that exists for Leo right now, and potentially opportunities for anyone who wants to contribute other parts or other tools that that developers besides themselves can use. Potentially, and we have a grants program if anyone's interested in learning more about that. And then the last stage is you'll deploy, or you'll write and deploy an actual application. So very excited about that. If you want to get ahead of the curve, so to speak, and get the notes ahead of the test, you can go to developer.aleo.org, where you can see all the documentation related to Leo and even try it yourself. So that's going to be our workshop. I do also want to give a plug. The last 30 minutes of the workshop, I'm going to be presenting the results of ZPrize. So for those of you who attended ZK Summit 7 or watched any of the talks, you may remember that ZPrize was an industry initiative, consisting of about 30 different companies, not just in Web3, but also hardware companies, which was modeled after the X Prize. And the whole goal was to accelerate or focus on hardware acceleration for zero knowledge proofs. And so the competition ran for the last 6 months. We had competitors from all over the world. And I'm happy to say that the competition is now concluded. And we have some really exciting results, groundbreaking in many ways in several different fields, regarding server-side architectures, client-side architectures, even mobile phones. A lot of useful stuff that we think, or I think, will be really beneficial to people across the space, no matter what you're building. And so very excited to share a little bit about that. We're all very excited for this. And thank you very much for the opportunity, and hope to see you at our workshop.
And just to reiterate, that workshop is on December 13th. Yeah, so if you want to find out more, be sure to sign up. So that wraps up the workshop hosts and their presentations. You now have a sense for what to expect over the next few weeks. Those were just samples of what's possible. And obviously the full workshops are going to be like fuller. You're going to get to know more of the tools. I know some folks have been asking for slides or for resources. I mean, I think that's where each of these workshops will be really helpful. Each one of them will probably have a whole bunch of things you can learn when you attend. So yeah, hopefully you get a chance to sign up for those, the ones that are interesting to you. So now we're a little bit over time, but we're not too bad. The ZK Hack Puzzle 1, that's what we have to sort of jump into. So I kind of wonder if Kobe can make his way to the backstage, because I'm going to need to invite you up at some point. But in the meantime, I will just continue with some of the slides that I already have. So, because there's a little bit more I want to say. So you just heard from all of the workshop hosts. We have this amazing schedule. Yeah, and like, if you missed anything, if you didn't get the link, go to the website, zkhack.dev, click into the ZK Hack 3 event site, and you have links to each one of these. So you can sign up directly. Yeah, so it was really great to hear from everyone. People are asking, and I'll just say it again, the videos are recorded and they'll be on the ZK Hack playlist, and you can always check out previous videos there as well. So do we have, like, is Kobe somewhere in the backstage? That would be ideal. I wonder if there's a way to get, yay, okay. I think we have Kobe. Okay, I'm gonna bring him. Oh yes, so one thing to know, Kobe always appears in odd forms for ZK Hack. Today we have what I think is a planet. Is this correct?
That is indeed a planet.
Very good.
I'm trying to evade this rocket. Yeah.
Nice. All right. So I think what we wanted to do with this portion of the presentation is talk a little bit about the prizes, the flow, what people should do. Yeah, so I'll pull that up again. I wanted to make us big for a second so I could see you better. Okay. And now I'm going to add this back. Okay. So let's talk puzzles. And I hope everyone who's like competing is now here, because this is the launch of the first puzzle. And as you know, it's time-based. So one thing we wanted to share a little bit was the fact that there are prizes. We are going to be doing top 3 prizes for each session, as well as more cool gifts and other things to come. Also, to anyone out there, if there's teams that want to donate to our final finale prizes that will be given out on December 13th, there's still a little bit of time to do that. So get in touch with us if you want to also contribute. So yeah, this time around, if you come in first, you will get 2,000 USDC. If you come in second, you'll get 1,000 USDC. If you come in third, you get 500 USDC. And here's a really cool thing is like, if you are competing, but you aren't able to actually rank, you can still submit the write-ups. And this matters. Like the best write-up is the one we use on the solutions page. And you also win a prize. So just for everyone to be aware. Last time we actually discovered some fantastic engineers through the write-ups themselves, even if they didn't necessarily rank on the leaderboard. Oh, run ahead, sorry. Other prizes that will probably be there is we have these really sweet NFTs that are on brand. I don't know if everyone's aware of these, but you can find it. It's on OpenSea. It's called ZK Hack. It's a collection of underwater aquatic beings and aliens. These seem to be the themes that we're going with. I think Kobe, now we're bringing in planetary imagery. A lot of them are based on things that Kobe showed up as in previous sessions. So yeah, there are actually a couple for sale, but we've kept some of them like fancier ones aside because they're probably going to be prizes for the winners. Oh yeah, one other thing, I keep talking about it, but Job Fair, December 1st, it's on gather.town, which is like this interactive place. I just want to make sure everyone's aware of how cool this is. Like you basically can go meet teams who will, like you can meet them in almost like a casual setting. So like you don't have to feel stressed out about, you know, interviews and all this stuff. You can just like pop into booths, meet them in this digital space and get to know the teams that maybe you will soon work for. Yeah, we have right now 9 hiring teams, which will have booths there. There's 1 left. If there's a team out there who might want to participate as a job offer, I don't know what the word is, hiring team. Yes. Oh yeah, and check out the jobs board. Not yet, because I know a lot of teams haven't submitted, but over the next few weeks, you're going to see a lot of job postings from our workshop hosts there. This, by the way, was the team. Oh, this is the team that put this all together. I just wanted to definitely highlight this and say thank you to everyone. I mean, we have a lot of weeks ahead of us, but even the prep here has been so fantastic. So big thank you to everyone on the team. And okay, Kobe, I think it's time.
All right, let's talk about the puzzle. So this time, the first puzzle is going to be about something that is becoming extremely popular in the new generation of proving systems, which is the sum-check protocol. So it's a bit of a tricky protocol. It's not totally trivial. And yeah, you will explore some interesting property of it in this puzzle. Yeah, so we're going to make the puzzle live in a few minutes. And like Anna said, this is going to be running through this week. There are going to be prizes. We're going to have 3 hints during the week, which is day after day, starting tomorrow midday. And yeah, you can find all of the details about the puzzles, all the background material that is needed on the website itself. There is a dedicated puzzle page that will go live soon. And yeah, maybe a shout out to Andrea, which is the person from Geometry that wrote the puzzle. And yeah, we hope you enjoyed it.
Somebody asked, I'm going to bring this up, where are the links to the puzzles? So maybe we should point them in the right direction.
Yes, so the link to the puzzle is going to be on the main page. So you can actually already see in the main page of ZK Hack 3 and the placeholder for the puzzle. And when it goes live, you will see a link to the puzzle page in the same spot.
Which I think might be up. Or are you opening it up right now?
Let's see.
Oh, I think the page has been shared.
All right. So maybe
okay,
it's time to make the puzzle public then.
All right. So as we kind of mentioned a couple times, it is a little bit about speed and correctness. Obviously, you have to submit a correct answer solution, but it is sort of like it's about speed. So the faster you can do it, the more points you're going to get. Is there any other tricks or things that people should, apparently, no, wait, it says stay tuned, so maybe they're not live yet. But is there anything else that people should know about? I know people have asked like which tools.
Yeah, so usually one of our favorite cryptography frameworks is ArcWorks, and by no surprise, we're using it again this time. So you should probably be getting up to speed about how to use Rust, how to use ArcWorks. We again have some tutorial that you can find on the main page and on the puzzle pages. And you could also use Sage, which is a popular tool that a lot of people have used to solve previous puzzles. It's a really nice tool for finite fields and elliptic curves, and very flexible. But yeah, you can also use pen and paper for some things. So yeah, use your best judgment here, I guess.
Somebody asked, what's the deadline? Hector asked this. What's the deadline? So I think it's 1 week from now, or it's Monday evening, right?
Correct. So Monday, like midnight, so like 11:59, this is when it finishes. This is the last time that you can submit a solution.
For anyone, I think we possibly shared the link a little bit too early. I think we're sharing it, but actually I think it's not live. So it will be very soon live where on that link that you're looking at. And so the minute it turns live, that will turn it for everybody on, I hope. Another thing I'm going to recommend is to head over to the Discord server channel, because that's where like we can post it there as well if you're at all worried. And that's also a place you can find other hackers. I know someone asked earlier like about potentially finding teams to join. We've had that in the past where teams have come together to do this. The one thing we ask is that you submit together under one name, but I think that's all fair. Yeah,
and feel free to hop to the Discord and talk in puzzle chat. That's a popular location for people to discuss puzzles.
Very cool. All right. So I think that brings us to the end. I do want to just recommend again that folks sign up for our next workshop. That's Thursday in 2 days. Sismo and Scroll are going to be presenting 1 hour each, and it would be amazing to see you back over here. We're probably going to, so far you've seen us on the stage of Hopin. We're going to be using sessions, which is a little bit less broadcasty for the actual workshops. And actually after this, I think we were going to head over there, Kobe, just to hang out a little bit to the sessions. So if you want to catch us there for more questions, we can see you there. All right. Lots of links. I hope you've signed up for things. I hope we see you in Discord. Thank you so much for spending the time with us this evening or morning or wherever you are. Yeah, and it's the start of our multi-week event. I'm excited to get to know you all and yeah, see what we can build out of this. Cool. Thanks, Kobe.
Thank you.
Bye.